Welcome guys to a brand new video on solo leveling Arise. So what I want to do in today's video is go over the top 3 best weapons, so best SSR weapons, and the top 3 best SSR hunters in this game. So I wanted to do this just in case you guys just want to know a general gist on the best weapons and characters instead of watching individual videos. So hopefully you guys like this video. Stay tuned for more content on solo leveling Arise. If you guys don't want to miss out on future content on the game, make sure you are subscribed and make sure that post notification is on. So first of all, let's first focus on the hunters, because I'm pretty sure you guys want to know some of the best hunters in the game. So I have nearly all the hunters. There is only one that I am missing, and he is not going to be involved in this video because he's not the best hunter. Even if I don't have him, I've taken a look at his kit. I've used him in some of the side stories. I don't think he's that great or the best SSR hunter in the game. So my favorites or top 3 best hunters in this game has got to be the top 3 you can actually see on top. Funny enough, yeah, the top 3 on top. So we have Emma, Laurent, we have COG and we have Choi Jin In. Now I want to preface this because I never actually focused on COG, but she's actually become one of my favorite characters in the game. Like honestly, out of all the characters, she's actually become my favorite. Now she is way more important in my opinion than most of the characters, simply because we don't have that many water type characters. And honestly, if you want to build a water type character, it is actually important for fighting against. So if I go over to Instance Dungeon, if I go over to end core missions, it is important that you use water characters to fight against Cerberus. And even with Seojiru, I honestly still struggle. So in the future, hopefully we can get more water character. But honestly, if you want to have a good time fighting this boss, Seojiru becomes insanely important, and she's also good in general as well. But yeah, very nutty character, and definitely one of the most important characters in the game. Now she was actually the last SSR character that I got. I made a video going over the most important summon ever on my account, and it was the summon for her because I needed her, and I definitely needed her. Now that I have her, she's honestly my go-to character to use in any content, as long as her elemental type isn't disadvantaged. So every time I'm running content, it's always this 3 units over here. Seojiru, because she does have the break ability, so if I'm going against bosses with break bar, she is my also go-to as well, but also because she applies a shield to the entire team, which is generally, in my opinion, much better than the heals that Min Byung-gu actually provides. But one thing about Min Byung-gu is that he is more of a supportive character than a supportive healer. He's there to buff up your team, especially when you have the right artifact. He becomes an insanely good buffer. But the thing about Seojiru that I really like is that her damage is insane. You can spam her skills and the damage from the skill is nutty. Plus she has the ability to provide shield, which gives you about 2-3 hits, which isn't insane. Honestly, I was slightly disappointed with the shield, but then again, if you take a look at it, it's only 5%, which honestly is fine. But in the future, I hope we can get more shielders. And what I believe happens, shields add up. So more shielders, the better it is. So I believe the next character we're going to be getting, or one of the future characters we're going to be getting, based on leaks, is Alicia. Is it Alicia? I think it's Alicia. She's also a blue type character that also has the ability to provide shield. So when you're running against content, you can actually use Seojiru and Alicia. You can stack this shield, which will be really good. But honestly, we're just focusing on right now the shield, the damage. Most important character definitely is going to be her, alongside like Emma, which I will briefly talk about as well. But she's insanely important and insanely nutty. Definitely try and get her a weapon as well. In terms of how to build her, I focus on shield, but honestly don't do that. Just focus on either crit or HP. But you'll probably have to do two crits. Actually, probably just crit. Honestly, crit would be better. I think it's called toughness. It would be better. And then for the other section, the right side, it's probably the Berserker. You definitely want to get her HP below 70% so you can actually have that increase in damage, but it's really good. So essentially, great AoE damage, great shield. Well, decent shield. Listen, the shield isn't the end all be all. The shield isn't insane. It's just 2-3 hits basically. you can tank 2 free hits, or maybe even 1 sometimes. Okay, next up we have Emma Lawrence. Now there is certain content in this game which tells you to kill as fast as possible, or just just to kill as fast as possible. With Emma's skill, this one especially, this is great AoE damage that honestly hits so fast and so far. If you want to clear content as fast as possible, you know when you have like the first room, second room, and then the third room being the boss, the first and second room always has little minions, and you obviously want to kill it as fast as possible so you have enough time to challenge the boss. Having Emma makes it simply easy. Now obviously, if you're clearing content with Emma, it's probably in a side story where you can't use your Song Jin-woo, so you have to use your other hunters. She's honestly the best to use because of that great AoE. You can kill the first stage as fast as possible, go to the second stage, kill as fast as possible, so you have enough time for the boss. Now even if you are using her with Song Jin-woo, so the hunters are your support characters, it is fine because she has the ability to provide heat absorption and heat emission. So heat absorption basically increases defense, healing, which doesn't really matter actually. This heat absorption isn't that great, but heat emission is pretty good. Increases damage and defense penetration by 7.7%, and increasing fire damage as well. Plus she's also a break character. Now not every boss or every enemy has their break bar, but once they do, they're honestly like the go-to characters to use in my opinion, as long as there's no disadvantage with the element. It's Emma and Seo Ji-woo. Oh, and also Beck as well. His break is really good. Honestly, build him with crit, damn, he's nutty. He's honestly one of my favorites as well. I just hate the fact that he doesn't have any protection when he uses his skill. Anyways, so yeah, Emma Lawrence. One thing I hate though about her is that when she uses this, you think she's disappearing, but the enemy can still hit her, and once they do, it stops you from doing the full attack, which annoys me so much. But it's really good because she also has a little shield that she can provide as well. The shield, once again, isn't tanky. Honestly, it's only based off supplies 7.7% of the user's HP. It's not that tanky honestly, but it's again 2 free hits. It's very helpful, and she's definitely one of the best supporters for Cho Jin-in. Now another reason why Cho Jin-in is top 3 is the fact that his damage essentially is one of the highest in the game, and he also isn't mainly reliant on the gears compared to other characters. Other characters need crit rate, need crit damage, they need HP. Well, obviously Cho Jin-in needs attack, but he is passive over here. It always gives him a increase in his attack by 40%, which generally means you don't need like the amazing gear on him to see the insane amount of damage he can provide. One thing I don't like about him is protection. He has no protection with his skills, so when you use your skill, you better make sure you can use it fully, because sometimes the enemies just attack you, especially when the bosses have like those super armor, which basically ignores the interruption, which annoys me every single time because it means I can't really use Cho Jin-in every single time. So usually if I'm running hunters, okay, if I'm only able to use 3 hunters and I can't use Song Jin-woo, it's always this 3 hunters. But I never stay too long with Cho Jin-in. I usually just go in, use his ultimate, spam his skills, and then instantly switch out of him. So you use his skills, use a normal attack, switch out of him honestly, because he doesn't have much protection compared to like Emma, who at least has a little bit of shield. You can run around. With Seo Jin-woo, again, she provides shield, the damage is insane. So yeah, those are the top 3 best hunters in the game. Don't get me wrong, there's obviously other good hunters, but in my opinion, those 3 have very important roles. Great insane DPS plus the shield, plus the super body as well, or super armor, plus one of the only water type SSR characters in the game, making sure that she's important against Cerberus. And Emma, insane AoE damage, insane supportive ability with Cho Jin-in. A little bit of that shield as well is very helpful, and her damage is pretty good as well. And honestly, an insane break character. But don't get me wrong, I have 3 dupes into her, so maybe that's why her break is really good. Okay, so those are the characters. Those are the top 3 characters. Let's go over to the top 3 weapons right now. So going over to Codex, go over to weapons. So once again, I have nearly all the SSR weapons except for the Vulcan Rage, but I don't think it would affect this list too much. Okay, so no doubt about it, you guys already know, but the Plume Sword is honestly one of the best SSR sword. because it helps with your damage. Sorry about that, I'm kind of burping right now, damn. Anyways, it helps with great damage. It increases crit rate, increases crit damage, in general increases attack stat as well, just like insane damage potential with this ability and with this weapon. Honestly, really good. So definitely number 1 or top 3 best weapons in the game and go-to weapons. Next up we have the Grimoire. Like, honestly, this weapon I love using the most. Now recently, if I go over to my Song Jinwoo, recently I got my Scythe 3 stars. I've been using it a lot more, but typically my go-to weapon is this. It's literally the Plume Sword plus the Grimoire. But since I've duped up the Scythe a lot, it increases my power, the damage is great, and if I'm going against dark type, I just use the Scythe. But I really don't like using the Scythe too much, because when you're using the skill, you have no interruption, you're easily attacked, which I really hate. Yeah, which I don't like. But the Grimoire, damn, that Grimoire allows you to freeze and does insane damage. Like, literally insane damage. Definitely one of the top 3 best SSR weapons in the game. Now the third one, I would say, okay, listen, the Huntsman is very important as well. I wouldn't say top 3 though, because it's mainly focused around breaking. I really want to put the Demonic King's longsword, because he has the shield and stuff. It's actually really hard though, actually. The Scythe is good as well, but you get this for free, so I don't really... It's another dark weapon, I don't really want to include it. I'll probably go with the Huntsman. I don't think it's the best weapon in the game, but in terms of importance, it does have great importance, because it's one of those weapons that against characters that has a break bar, honestly, one of your go-to ones you would use because of the break damage that it provides, and also one of the few light type weapons in the game. It's not your go-to weapon though, but like I wanted to mention, it's just against breaking, especially against Igris as well, you might just want to use this weapon instead, because that break is really great. It helps you clear content as well, so that's why I really want to talk about this weapon. So yeah, top 3. But honestly, this guy could be switched interchangeable with the Scythe or the King's Sword. The Scythe does have great damage, but I don't really like using it, honestly. I probably would stick with the the Demonic King's longsword though, honestly, because he does have the shield and the immobilize, which is just helpful in general as well. But you don't mainly use that much, honestly, compared to the Grimoire and the Plume Sword. Those are definitely the top 2 in the game, definitely. The third one is the hardest choice though. Honestly, any of them, or any of the other SSR can go in the 3rd slot. It's not really too much of a big deal. Okay, so yeah, my go-to weapons for sure is the Grimoire and the Plume Sword. But now that I have a lot of duplicates for the Scythe, I'm being forced to use it now, which is alright, I guess. Anyways, hopefully you guys like this video. It's been your boy AC Gamer. Let me know down in the comment section if you guys have all the hunters I mentioned and all the weapons I've also mentioned. Don't forget to like and subscribe. It's been your boy AC Gamer, and I'm out.